There is nothing quite like a Game 7 in a playoff series, and that's what we have here today in Vegas. The Golden Knights play host to the Utah Mammoth in Game 7 here in Round 1. Winner moves on, and the loser goes home. It's a do-or-die game. Sit back and enjoy this one as we are underway from T-Mobile Arena. A back-and-forth series. Last time we were here in Vegas, it was Game 5. And Vegas dominated that game. Keller with an early shot on goal, knocked away over to the far side. Utah won the elimination game yesterday to force Game 7. Barbashev a shot denied by Bamelka, and our first stoppage of the game comes less than a minute in. Nothing quite like a Game 7 in the postseason, whether it's the NBA, whether it's the MLB, whether it's the NHL. It is always fireworks. Hutton off a body in front, kept alive. Hutton again knocked down off the blocker of Bamelka, and it comes back out to center ice for Keller. Keller brings it up, a bobble on his way in, good cutoff, and Eichel gains control of the puck. Comes to the near side for Durzi. Schmaltz with a bobble in center ice. Goes back deep into the Vegas end. Noah Hannafin pestered towards Eichel. Good defense by Schmaltz. Eller on the wing, can't handle. Hannafin there for Vegas. Down low, Schmaltz. Back out to the point, and Sergachev. Back to Schmaltz. Now Durzi inside, denied. Good puck movement by Utah, and good goaltending. Here comes Stone back through center ice. Both teams change as Barbashev feeds Stone, and it's picked off by Durzi. Here's Carcone. Carcone tried to square it up. Good defense by Hutton on his way in, and he just flips it to avoid danger, resulting in an icing. 17:44 to go. Opening period just underway here in Game 7 from Vegas. Face-off controlled by the Knights. Penalty called here. This one's going to be on Utah, so an early penalty delayed here for Utah. This one smothered and touched. And an early power play coming here for Vegas. They're going to call Dylan Guenther for what appears to be interference as he knocks Sissons down to a knee. Guenther gets called for interference in a 2-minute power play to start this game for the Golden Knights. Game 7 already with momentum on the Vegas end. Controlled by Utah here on the power play. Marino flips it up and out. Flagged down by Eichel, sends it into the zone. Marino jumps on it again and clears down the length of the ice. Tomas Hertl will bring it up here for the Knights. Tried to send it inside, good stick. Utah jumps on it and clears again. No shots on goal to this point on this power play. Eichel gets knocked down. Dorofeev over there battling with McBain, who's wasting time on this penalty. And an errant pass will result in an icing. 1:06 to go on the power play. Still no shots on goal as we're just about halfway through this penalty. Being served by Guenther in the penalty box. Face-off controlled by the Mammoth. Cole a shot off a body. Short-handed on the attack. Utah. Kroos now fires a shot, save, and it goes to the corner. Vegas will get it out. Dorofeev to the near side. Mark Stone. Stone pestered by Cole, who takes it away, and he flips it down the length of the ice. Good penalty kill to this point here for the Mammoth. No shots on goal in this penalty for Utah. One for Utah short-handed here against this Knights power play unit. Colasar brings it in, drops it off, picked off by Kroos, and he clears again. 15 seconds to go on the man advantage here for the Knights. Comes to the near side and Howden. Howden walks it up. A bobble by Holtz and a snare. Rebound, still loose, and they score! But they wave it off! It is waved off on the power play. Let's take a look. They call goaltender interference. The boos start to rain down here in Sin City. I don't know. There was contact. right there, but he gets out of there, and then the shot comes through. So they're going to take a look at this, and in fact, they confirm it. So they wave off the goal. We stay scoreless, and the power play comes to a close. Keller brings it up here for Utah. Fires a shot that's gloved down by Schmidt. Would have been wide, but Schmidt still able to snare it, and he stops play just under 5 minutes gone by in this opening period. Face-off controlled by Utah, and a huge hit. Oh my goodness. Carcone gets laid out on the right wing circle by Lozone. Let's take a look at that. It's Ray Lewis coming out of retirement here for the Golden Knights. Four shots on goal for either side. Here's Cole. Sends it in, tip try, and they score! Off the deflection, Peterka gets the goal, and Utah strikes first in Game 7. Deflected a couple times out in front, and Schmidt couldn't find it, and that was an own goal. That was touched by a Vegas player and went into the net. Oh my goodness. In a Game 7, the first goal is an own goal by the Golden Knights, and it's 1-0 Utah. Reinhart brings it in on the attack, drops it off. Kolasar off the pipe. Immediate response by Vegas, and it goes off the crossbar. Comes back out to center and Hayton. Hayton brings it in down low out in front. Cole denied off a body. Never got through. Kept alive by Cole. Spins and fires. Schmidt with the save. Goes in back below the goal line. Peterka to Gunther. Flips it in on Schmidt, who goes up to snare it. 14:08 to go, opening period. Already a lot of action. We've had a goal waved off. We've had an own goal. We've had a ringer off the pipe. We're off to a good start here in Vegas. Face-off controlled by the Golden Knights. Holtz Pindle on the boards in front of the bench. Howden to Saad now, up into the Utah end. Saad drops it off Holtz. Picked away to the far side. Peterka into the corner. Picked down below the goal line for Schmidt. Utah takes over, and now a turnover. Vamelka with a good stick. Gains control of the puck. Right in on net. Holtz gets it to it in the corner to the point, and White Cloud tip try just wide. Howden was there down low. And Carcone brings it back out to center ice. In real life, this game, in Game 4 of this series, Utah down 3-0 early has come back to tie it at 3 with a goal moments ago. Megna out in front and a save. Goes into the corner, out in front again, off the pipe. Oh my goodness. Comes into the corner again. Utah gains control and back out to center ice. Deflected back to Megna, now Dorofeev. Dorofeev pestered on his way in by Dursey. Comes back out to center ice. Sissons takes it away here for the Golden Knights. Here's White Cloud. Outside Sissons. Sissons walks it in, out in front, a bobble. There was Schmidt defensively. And now Keller up ahead, feeds it in. Megna gains control in their own end. White Cloud will walk it up here for Vegas. Errant pass, no icing. Dorofeev sends it to the near side. First guy to it will be Schmaltz. He's Pindle on the boards. Dorofeev, now Barbashev. Down below the goal line. Barbashev circles around. Out to the point and Hutton. Hutton sends it in. Barbashev, one-timer wide of the net. White Cloud let it fly. Barbashev, good defense out in front. Sissons back out to the point and White Cloud off a body in front. Her foot got in the way. Good defense by the Mammoth. And it comes back out to center ice. Dorofeev gains control here for the Knights. Sissons floats it into the corner. DeSimone gets there first for Utah, sends it all the way down for what should be an icing, and it will be. 10:25 to go, opening period. Utah off to a 1-0 lead here in Game 7. Here from Vegas. Face-off control by the Knights, and Vejmelka with a glove save stops play with 10:19 to go in the opening period. Vegas takes over in center once again. Marner turns back here for the Knights. Marner drops it off to no man's land. Sergachev got a stick on it. And here's Stenlund as we're over halfway through this opening period now. Stenlund, Sergachev, Jersey with a bobble, fires a shot, tip just wide. Got past Schmidt. Marner back out to center ice. Marner weaves, turns it over to Jersey. Jersey off the boards and a bobble by Carcone. Korczak has the puck. Here's Dorofeev with a bobble. Takes a hit, and here's Gunther. Gunther brings it in wide, squares his body, cuts inside, and Schmidt with the save. Goes in below the goal line. O'Brien now with a bobble, takes it in, and scores! O'Brien does it himself, and it's 2-0 Utah. What an effort. O'Brien just cuts inside from the corner off a bobble. Gets it past Schmidt, and an early 2-0 lead for the Mammoth here in Game 7. And a silent crowd here in Sin City. O'Brien the goal at the 11:07 mark in the opening period, and it's 2-0 Utah. Peterka right back in, sends it in on Schmidt, who deflects it away. Cole now for the Mammoth. Numbers, watch out, Gunther! Back to Cole, and a save by Schmidt. Vegas will get it out. Meanwhile, in real life, Utah just took the lead. Eichel, a shot save in back behind the net. Cole now turns back. Utah was down 3-0 in the game in real life in Game 4, and now they lead 4-3. Picked off in center by Eichel here. And it was an own goal, it looked like, in real life. Theodore was sprawled down in front of the net. It deflects off of his rib cage area and went into the back of the net. Barbashev in on Vejmelka, never got a clean one off, and he stops play with 7:09 to go. Take a look at Schmidt, off to a rough start, but a good save here on the back and forth action on the breakaway. But 2 goals given up early for Schmidt here in a Game 7. And Utah on the road off to a great start here in Vegas. Face-off controlled briefly by the Knights. Keller jumped on it. Here he comes through center ice. And a good poke. Holtzpin now along the boards. Floats back to Luzone. And picked off at center by Kroos. Kroos turns back in for the Mammoth. Works it down below the goal line, and Schmaltz with a shot on net, saved by Schmidt. And a stoppage with 6.5 to go. Face-off control by Utah. Schmidt with a bobble, sends it right next to the net, but wide. Here's Kolasar through center ice. Kolasar brings it in wide, centering pass, nobody home. McBain cut it off. And it goes into the corner. Working it now down below the goal line. Carcone gets on it for Utah. Here's a bobble, dangerous spot. Stays in the zone briefly. Schmidt gets to it and gets it out. Carcone takes a hit but gets it out to Butt. Reinhardt with the defense. Errant pass goes all the way back. McBain here for Utah. McBain walks it in. Pestered on his way through and Sissons turns back. Just over 5 to go, opening period, 2-0 Mammoth. A bobble and a turnover. Carcone jumps on it here for the Mammoth. Here's O'Brien. O'Brien, a shot gloved down by Schmidt. Easy save with 4:54 to go. Face off here in the Vegas end. Controlled by the Knights. Vegas looking to get this crowd back into this game. Nothing to cheer about to this point. Here's Whitecloud, cuts inside, and a save. Goes down below the goal line for Whitecloud once more. To the point, and Marner, save, Vamilka. Snags that one out of the air. 4:26 to go in the period. Vegas wins the faceoff. Whitecloud squares it up. Sends it well wide of the net. Marner's on it. Dursey turns back here for Utah. Here's Kerfoot. Kerfoot pestered from behind by Tomas Hertel. Here's Mitch Marner. Marner fires, save, Vamilka. .350 to go, opening period. Face-off controlled by the Mammoth. Here's Sergachev. Outside Gunther, back to Sergachev, and it's taken off his stick by Hutton. Here's Mark Stone to Jack Eichel, now Barbashev. Delayed offside. Vegas tags back up. Here's Eichel. Pestered on his way through, surrounded by Mammoth. Sergachev gets on it and sends it down for Isaac. 3:10 to go, opening period. 2-0 Utah here in Game 7. Winner moves on to the second round. Loser goes home. Face-off controlled by Utah. Sergachev brings it in wide. Drops it off to no man's land. Sergachev keeps it on side. Brings it out to the wing. Down low Gunther. Back up top Dursey with a bobble. Fires a shot. Save. Schmidt. 2:43 to go in the opening period. In the West, the Kings and the Oilers are the teams to have advanced to the second round already. One of these teams looking to join them into the second round of the West. Korczak brings it in wide. Fires off a skate, goes wide of the net. Cole jumps on it here for Utah. And they'll get it out of the zone again with Keller up ahead to Krause. Back to Keller. Keller loses the puck on his way in. Just over 2 minutes to go, opening period in a 2-0 game. Picked off in center by Keller. Schmaltz loses it to Lazone, trading turnovers here near neutral ice. Here's Saad, drops it off for Lazone. Outside, Kolasar, down low off the pipe. And Vamilka might have gotten a piece of it as well. And he stops play with $1:43 to go in the period. Take a look at this Vamilka save right there on the doorstep. I think it ricocheted off the pipe. And Vamilka might have gotten a piece of it as well. Let's look. This will be a good look at it. Oh, yeah. $1:43 to go in the period. Face-off in the Utah end. Sissons wins the face-off. A shot from distance, well off a body. Back out to center comes Utah, but they turn it over. Sissons flips it in deep. First guy to it will be Marino. Utah works it back out to center. Carcone pestered on his way through neutral ice. Megna turns back. Working with Reinhardt. This one deflects out of play with 1 minute and 9 seconds to go in the period. Face-off controlled by Vegas. On the point, it's Megna. Inside, Kolasar with a bobble. Taken away by Marino. Kolasar gets it back. Out in front. Picked off by Schmidt. Sissons. Score! Sissons found the open look on the inside, and Vegas is on the board as they cut the lead in half. It's 2-1. Right between the legs of Marino. And past Vejmelka for the first goal of the game for the Knights in the final minute of this opening period. Sissons gets his third goal of the series. Tied for the top on the team here against Utah. 2-1, 50 seconds to go in the period. Hutton brings it back in here for the Knights. Fires a shot, and Vejmelka has to reach out and snare it with 35 seconds to go in the period. Face-off control by Vegas. Hannafin squares it up. Vejmelka the save, the rebound. Marner off the pipe. And another try. Hack and whack in the middle. Oh my goodness. Vegas was inches away from tying the game. Instead, Stenlund back the other way. Stenlund works it down low. Final seconds of the period. Out in front. Saved by Schmidt. Rebound gone down below the goal line. Hannafin escapes. Takes a hit. And that'll do it for the opening period. My goodness. Game 7. Everything we expected at this point. Fireworks in the opening period. It's 2-1 Utah after one in Game 7 of Round 1 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Start of the second period here in Sin City, and we've got ourselves a good one to this point. 1 goal game, 20 minutes to go in the second. 17 shots on goal for Vegas, 16 for Utah, and the Mammoth lead 2-1. Hannafin with a good stick comes in on Schmidt. Stops play 12 seconds into the period. 17 shots on goal now for either side. 2-1 here in Game 7. Winner moves on, loser goes home. Eichel wins the faceoff, comes in on net. Hutton with a good job on recovery. Overskated there by Utah on the near side. They gain control in center. Big hit. Barbashev gains control. Jersey floats it to the far side. Sergachev on it. Utah works it in their own end. Jersey feeds Schmaltz. Cross ice to Keller. Back to Schmaltz. A shot. Glove down. Schmidt. 55 seconds gone by in the period. 2 shots on goal already for Utah. Face-off control by Vegas. Hannafin off the boards for Marner. Marner gets cut off. Hurdle there to pick out the loose change. Hurdle behind the back and picked off by Kroos. Down low, a turnover and a save. Vejmelka. Into the trapezoid, back behind the net. Floats out to Kroos. And Utah will get it out. Here's Jersey. Jersey picked off from behind by Hannafin. Hutton turns back here for the Knights. Hutton poked on his way in. Vejmelka kicks it away and stops play. Schmidt up ahead to Gunther, brings it in quickly. Out in front, Korczak picks it off. Peterka cutting to the net, couldn't get it through. And back out to center. Utah gains control. Gunther brings it into the zone, tried to center it. Good stick from Holtz. And Vegas brings it back out to center ice with Saad. Saad gets cut off, gets knocked down. Korczak out in front. Never got through, and Vejmelka makes the save. Face-off control by Vegas. White Cloud on the point, sends it into the slot, picked off by Marino. And Peterka turns back here for Utah. Peterka, a shot, glove down by Schmidt. Desimone, Carcone denied Schmidt. Into the corner, McBain. Carcone outside to Cole, sends it in, tip try, never got through. What up, Odie? Welcome in. Colasar brings it back the other way, and he scores! Vegas from down 2-0 has tied it at 2 apiece in Game 7. And this crowd is rejuvenized in Sin City. The party is just beginning. That is correct, Odie. Colasar to Reinhart. Here he comes. Sissons denied by Vejmelka. Sissons gains control in neutral ice. I can't tell if that's sarcastic or not, Odie. But brings it in, drops it off, and they score! Right back at ya! Carcone puts it in, and Utah retakes the lead. Carcone gets his 4th goal of the series, 3-2 Mammoth jump right back in front. Back and forth we go here in Game 7. Floats back into the Vegas end. Knights gain control. Here's Mark Stone. Stone drops it off for Eichel. A shot just wide. Stone gets there back below the net. Eichel! Save Vamelka. 22 shots on goal for Vegas, 21 for Utah. Back and forth we go. Just trading goals here early in the second period, 4.5 minutes in. And each team has scored one. Faceoff goes to Utah. Kerfoot across the red line. Vegas takes it away. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, Odie. I think I'm better than AI, I would hope. O'Brien brings it in for Utah. Drops it off for Stenlund. Back to O'Brien. And a save by Schmidt. 14:55 to go in the second period. Faceoff goes to Vegas. Marner. Here's Hutton. Brings it through neutral ice. Hutton works it in. Drops it off. Marner. Denied by Vamelka. Gotcha. Faceoff control by Vegas. Hutton outside Hannafin. Gunther with the takeaway. Here comes Utah. Gunther works it in wide, drops it off Peterka, and a shot denied. The rebound just wide. Schmidt got back. Gunther was right there on the doorstep. Schmidt denied, rebound, out in front, still loose. Hannafin gains control, and Marner brings it back out to center ice. Floats back deep into the Utah end for an icing. 13:57 to go in the period. Fireworks already here from Vegas. Face-off controlled by Utah. On the point, Dursey. Now Sergachev has it poked out of the zone. Race for the puck. Sergachev gets back. Keller to Schmaltz now. Hutton into the corner. Schmaltz pinned there. Keller now back below the goal line. Keller, wraparound try. Saved by Schmidt. Schmaltz gets knocked down. Battling with Hannafin. Along the near half wall, Schmaltz. Floats back out to Marner. Schmaltz gains control. And now Marner takes it away here for Vegas. Back out to center. A bobble and a takeaway. Dursey in neutral ice. Sergachev to the near side. Schmaltz takes a hit. Kept alive by Kroos. Hannafin turns back here for Vegas. Marner picked off in center. Trading turnovers here in Vegas. Sergachev denied off the blocker of Schmidt. O'Brien kicks it along the near half wall. Over to get it is McBain. A shot. Blocker down by Schmidt. Eichel gains control below the goal line, and Hannafin will bring it out. Hurdle. Works it outside. Hurdle drops it off, picked off by McBain. And Schmidt brings it through neutral ice. Schmidt waits for his friends. Megna cuts him off on his way through, down below the goal line. Big hit behind the play. White Cloud now pinned along the boards. Kicks out to the near side. Megna back out to center. Staying on sides is Eichel. Cuts inside. Eichel! Score! What an effort by Jack Eichel! And we're tied again, this time at 3. Appreciate it, Odie. Yeah, did they just make up Odd Man X or Odd One X? Did they just make that up with no context? That's weird. Oh, big hit! Helmet flies off. Carcone took the blow. And we're tied at 3. Another big hit, this time for Utah. Helmets flying into the air. Holtz loses it on his way in. So much action on both ends. Another big hit on Keller. McBain now walks it in. Saad takes it away from behind. Holtz now through neutral ice as we are just about halfway through the period. Korczak will bring it in. Korczak, a shot wide of the net. Kept alive by Luzon. Luzon back up to the point, and Korczak, here it comes, denied by Vejmelka. And it comes back out to neutral ice. Vegas has to tag up. We're going to get a delayed penalty here. Vegas has an extra skater in. DeSimone touches it, and a power play upcoming here for the Golden Knights. No, I would not have read it as Odie. If that was your name before, then I would have called you Odd 1X. Or just X. Power play here for Vegas. Eichel outside Barbashev. Barbashev inside and a whiff. Barbashev gets it back. Vejmelka the save. Howden on the rebound. Stopped by Vejmelka again. Ever since I was a kid, I've always had like a weird obsession for sports announcers, and I wanted to be one. I probably won't be, but I just kind of do this for fun. Offside on Vegas. $1:43 to go on the power play. I just always thought the job would be really cool. Sissons taken away by Cole, and Utah clears. Krause outside to Cole, lets it fly, and Schmidt with the save. $1:21 to go on the power play, and a short-handed attempt there for the Mammoth. Bruce Banner's a good one. Just over a minute to go on the power play. Vegas is 0 for 1 tonight on the man advantage. Stone gets knocked down. Very close to be what could have been called a cross-check. No whistle. We play on. 1 minute to go on the penalty. Short-handed Gunther into the glove of Schmidt, who keeps it alive. Tomas Hertl outside Mark Stone. Back to Hertl. A shot. Vejmelka with the snare. 44 seconds to go on the power play. Face-off controlled by Utah. Schmidt will clear. Fed in deep here by Vegas. Kerfoot gets back here for the Mammoth, and he sends it all the way down. Ricochets towards Hutton. That could have been a dangerous ricochet for the Knights, but they get back on it. Picked off in center by McBain. Sissons turns back here for Vegas. Sissons wide of the net. Barbashev down low. Trying to cut inside. And Marino there defensively clears the zone, and Utah will kill off this penalty. Mammoth back to full strength. Vegas now 0 for 2 on the man advantage in this game. We remain tied at 3, 7.5 to go in the period. Sissons drops it off for Howden, who can't handle. DeSimone takes it away here for Utah. Up ahead to Keller. Keller drops it off DeSimone. Keller, errant pass goes through the crease. Sissons gains control here for Vegas in their own end. And Hutton walks it up to Holtz. Carcone takes it away, floats back to Korczak. Vegas gains control in their own end. Kerfoot, good defense. Floats back out, kept in the zone by Keller. Carcone back to Keller, picked off by Holtz. Vegas back the other way, Holtz back into the Utah end. Brings it in wide, down below the goal line. Holtz pinned along the board. Stone cuts inside. And a diving attempt into the glove of Vejmelka. 6:08 to go in the period. Look at that effort. If that went into the net, oh, and Vejmelka almost didn't get over to it. If that went into the net, that would have been crazy. Utah wins the faceoff. Jersey will walk it up. Peterka drops it off for Sergachev to the other side, and Gunther walks it in and denied by Schmidt. Goes into the corner. Reinhardt gets there first. And Vegas will clear the zone with Sissons. Sissons along the benches. Cut off by Peterka. Here's Gunther. 5.5 to go in the period. Gunther with a bobble taken away. And Sissons back through neutral ice. Megna now takes over here for Vegas. Sissons across the red line. Reinhardt now. Reinhardt to Kolasar. A bouncing puck. Reinhardt off a body in front, goes to the far side. Peterka's on it. And back through center ice. Sergachev walks it in. Centering pass goes all the way to the other side. Jersey inside, and a save by Schmidt. Big collision in the corner. Out in front, Megna gains control. Loose puck. And Vegas survives that chance. Here's White Cloud. Centering, takes a hit, and a save. Vejmelka goes out wide. Saad gains control to the point. Luzon inside Stone off a body again. Sergachev spins back, takes a hit as he feeds up. Long time without a whistle here. Luzon takes it away here for Vegas. He gets hit hard by Jersey, and that's going to call a penalty. Jersey's going to get called for a cross-check, delayed penalty. Marner touched by Utah, and another power play upcoming for the Golden Knights. Odie, I've kind of always done this since I was a kid. I used to just do it as myself when I was playing like Madden or MLB The Show. I would just kind of do it to myself as a kid. Hockey I haven't done for very long, but I just kind of do it for fun. Just kind of something that I've always done. Face-off control by Vegas. Eichel. Outside Marner. Back to Eichel and off a body. Stone out in front. Dorofeev deflects high and stays in play. In back behind the net. Stone out in front. Hurdle. Cuts inside off a body. Hurdle again. Score! That's a power play goal for Vegas. And they take a 4-3 lead in the second. The first lead of the game for the Golden Knights goes right between the legs of Cole out in front. And our back and forth game continues. A power play goal for the Golden Knights to lead by 1. Odie, I work in retail management. So a 4-3 Vegas lead, 3 minutes to go in the period, and the first lead of the game for the Golden Knights. Keller brings it in here. Schmaltz fires a shot, saved by Schmidt. No further play. .31 shots on goal for both teams. Very even game back and forth. Barbashev brings it up. He's ahead of the pack. Barbashev score! Another strike for Vegas, and it's Barbashev to give the Golden Knights a 2-goal lead. Vegas has flipped the script in this game. Not really, Odie. I don't really prep for him. I watch the sports like no other in real life. Like out in front, ooh, chance there down below the goal line. Stone circles in and Vejmelka with the save. I don't really prepare for him. I just watch so much sports in real life that I know all the names and I know a lot of the stories behind players, blah, 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 blah. In the other sports that I do on here, I do football and baseball as well on here just for fun. But I turn the names off on that one because I know all the players. Hockey, it's just so fast, and I'm not as familiar with all the players, so I keep the names on for that reason. McBain turns back in. Watch out, save Schmidt. Goes out wide. Utah keeps it alive right there on the doorstep, and a fan out in front. Eichel turns back, 90 seconds to go in the period. Right through the crease, Cole gains control, back out to center ice. Korshak turns back. Odie, you never know who could pop into one of these things. Appreciate it. 1 minute to go in the period. 2-goal lead for Vegas now. Whitecloud turns back in, sends it on a long shot, swatted away by Vejmelka. Hurdle keeps it alive to the point in Whitecloud. Out in front, Stone off a body. Utah gains control, final 33 seconds to go in the period. Schmaltz loses it deep into the Vegas end. Sissons now works it in their own end with Luzon. Good defense by Kroos, trying to keep it on this side, and he does. Kroos out in front, Saad with the pickoff. 5 seconds to go in the period. Sissons takes a hit from Sergachev, and that will do it for the period. Vegas explodes in the second. They take a 2-goal lead. They were down by 1 coming in. They go out leading by 2, and it's 5-3 after 2. Odie, if I had an intermission program, that would be insane. I also do agree I need a color commentator, but I don't know how the hell I would do that. That would be some of the best production work of all time. All right, here we go. Start of the third period, Game 7. A 2-goal lead for Vegas. 20 minutes to play. And a win or go-home game contest. Vegas leads by 2. Barbashev brings it in. Fires a short-sighted shot. And a save by Vejmelka. Krause will bring it out through neutral ice. First turn here for Utah in the period. Sergachev fires a shot off a body. Deflects to the near side for Durzik. Back out to the point and Sergachev fires a shot again off a body. Good defense by Vegas. Stone deflects off a skate out in front. Down below the goal line and they score! Jack Eichel cuts inside and he scores his second of the game. What a turnaround from the start of this game. Vegas has locked in. And Vejmelka struggling in between the pipes. And Utah now down by 3 here early in the third. Yes, they do fight, Odie. They do, yes. I haven't had one in a few games, though. It's not as entertaining as you would think in this game, though. Eichel out in front. Stone, what a stop by Vejmelka. The rebound, Eichel. Stone back on it. Spins and fires it wide. Took a hit in the process, and Vejmelka finds the puck. Jack Eichel has had himself a heck of a game. He has 2 goals here tonight, working on the hat trick opportunity now. Scored 1 in the second and now 1 here in the third. And a 3-goal lead for the Knights here in Game 7. Tied for the NHL lead in round 1 in goals scored at 5 apiece between all the NHL players in round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. In the West, the Kings and the Oilers have moved on to the second round. Vegas, barring something crazy happening, 18 minutes away from joining them. Hayton back through center ice for Utah. They need a spark. Out in front, Schmidt with the save. That's what I'm saying, redhead player. I made my bracket the same. If you were wondering, I made my bracket the same as what it is in real life, but I'm playing through it. Like, I'm not forcing what happens in real life or anything. I'm playing through it to see what the game does versus what the real thing does. Marner drops it off for Hurdle. Tipped in on Vejmelka, who swats it away. Bodies flying in front of the net as Utah brings it out. Here's Butt. Hannafin takes it away, pinned along the boards. Korczak now on it. Hannafin turns around and sends it out of the zone. Jumping on it is Schmidt. McBain sends it cross ice to Carcone. The Sens also have a Game 7 that has not been played yet, Odie. 30 saves in the game for Schmidt. He was off to a rough start in the early going of this game. He gave up 2 first-period goals, but has not allowed a goal since then. On the point, it's Cole. Decimo now is shot off a body. Goes into the corner. Back into the trapezoidal zone there for Utah, for Vegas. Kerfoot wraparound, backhanded try, saved by Schmidt. Stenlund down below the goal line. Kerfoot escapes back up to the point. Cole, Decimona shot, off a body, loose puck available into the slot, and Luzon gains control. Holtz now cross ice to Saad. Saad walks it in, cuts inside, he scores! Vegas has turned this into a blowout. And what an individual effort to add another goal home for the Knights. Right between the wickets of Vejmelka. And frustration on the Utah bench. Third goal of the series for Brandon Saad. It's a 4-goal lead for the Knights, and they put up a 7th spot here in Game 7 against Vejmelka. And Utah's got a lot of work to do if they want to get back in this game. Stone a long shot off a body. Barbashev on the rebound down low. Begna now on the wing, bobbled to the outside. And Stenlund gains control on the Utah end. Up ahead, Kerfoot. Kerfoot sends it in, and Schmidt with the save. Odie, if I'm going to be honest, I don't watch any content like this either, really. But that's because most people that do it, in my opinion, aren't very good at it. And that sounds like braggy, but I don't think people that do this are very good at it most of the time. Barbashev with the save. The save by Vejmelka. Eichel now. Barbashev again. And another stop by Vejmelka. I try to replicate, obviously it's not perfect, I'm well aware of that, but I try to replicate what happens on TV most of the time when I do this kind of stuff. And I just do it for fun. I'm not looking to get anything out of it. Here's Schmaltz off a body. Sergachev keeps it alive. And now Kolasar jumps on it. Kolasar brings it in wide. Button hooks back. White Cloud with a bobble onto the stick of Schmaltz. Here's Keller on the outside. Feeds it in deep. White Cloud on it here for the Knights. Penalty's going to be called here. Another one on Utah. Reinhart brings it up. Drags the toe outside Sizitz. Out in front, they score! With the net empty and an extra attacker in on the delayed penalty. Cole Reinhart tucks it home, and it's a 5-goal lead for Vegas. I'm rooting for Utah. Appreciate it, Murph. I'm rooting for Utah. Eight to 3 in Game 7. And a back-and-forth series. Vegas dominated. A bobble and a turn by Saad. No, sir. Hayton with the block out in front. And Peterka gains control back to center ice. Peterka loses it on his way in. Schmidt had to kick it away. Just over 13 left in regulation time. Hutton brings it in. Down below the goal line, goes all the way through and back out of the zone. Heaton gets there here for Utah. Sergachev up ahead to Gunther. Gunther a shot, sticked aside by Schmidt. Down below the goal line, Howden gains control. And Vegas turns back. Saad walks it in. Drops it off for Holtz, a shot off a body, rebound out in front, another score! Holtz! Excuse me, that was Brett Howden who put it in. And this is pure domination by the Golden Knights. And Utah is staring down at the final minutes of their season at this point. And we're going to get a goaltender change. What up, Slady? Slady? Appreciate it. A 9 spot in the playoffs in Game 7. Eichel saved. And it comes into the near side. McBain jumps on it here for Utah. 6-goal lead for the Golden Knights. They have exploded in the second half of this game. Schmidt with another save. And he finds the puck. Start the comeback timer, Redhead. Schmidt. Save Schmidt again. 11:37 to go in the third period. 46 shots on goal now for the Golden Knights. Over 4 minutes of time on attack. And a 6-goal lead for the Golden Knights here in the third period. Schmidt. Save by Schmidt. The Schmidt on Schmidt battle. And Schmidt's winning it. Another face-off here in the Vegas end, controlled by Utah. DeSimone sends it in. Tip try never got through. Stenlund down low, hits it off the pipe. Kerfoot pestered, cuts inside, drops it off for Cole. Off a body in front, O'Brien now. Errant pass goes all the way down. So many different players in this game making an impact for the Golden Knights. Jack Eichel, the headliner with 2 goals to this point. Just under halfway through this third period. O'Brien up the takeaway, whipped on the shot. And Dorofeev turns back. Here's Mitch Marner. Marner keeps it alive. Here's Dorofeev, knocked down. And it comes into the corner. Battle for it along the near half wall. Cole escapes the pack with it here for Utah. Outside Decimo. And a shot on net saved by Schmidt again. Yeah, this is a blowout, Redhead. I don't blame you. Marino off a skate, and Schmidt finds it again. Appreciate it. Enjoy overtime, my friend. Enjoy it. I've got it on my phone right below me, right here. Watching it at the same time. Loose puck into the slot, controlled by Vegas. And Reinhart will bring it back out through center. Reinhart cuts inside. Marino picks it off. Who do we think's going to score the overtime goal in real life? Sissons, denied by Vanacek, who comes into the game for Vejmelka, who had a rough night tonight. 9:14 to go. Keller will bring it up here for Utah. Just over 9 to play. Schmaltz, saved by Schmidt again. Sergachev with a bobble. Inside Peterka. Tried to spin and fire. Schmidt finds it again. Just under 9 minutes to go in the third. Face-off control by Utah. Sergachev off the bobble. Sends it in. Hannafin was there out in front to block the shot. Gunther now into the corner. One-timer by Sergachev. A laser beam goes off of Hannafin. Olasar jumps on it for the Knights. Utah keeps it on side, at least briefly. And Reinhart jumps on it as Hannafin will walk it out. Cross ice staying on sides, it's Sissons. Hutton now. Fires a shot saved by Vanacek. They've played about a minute in the real-life game. That's in overtime, tied at 4 from Utah. Hannafin a shot, save Vanacek, goes into the corner. Dersey jumps on it here for Utah. Eichel working on a 2-goal night tonight. Takes it away. Barbashev down low, wraparound try. Vanacek gets it as Barbashev didn't get a clean one off. Face-off controlled by Vegas. Hutton. Good disrupt by Carcone. And Utah turns back. Barbashev with the pickoff. Dersey now takes it away for Utah. This might be icing, and it will be. My only complaint really about this simulation, these simulations, I am not in the Midwest. I live on the West Coast. My only complaint about these simulations is there's too many shots on goal in a game. Just in general, too many shots on goal in one game. Barbashev, Brock walks it in, taken away by Carcone. Stone gets it back. Eichel tried to load it up. Kettler takes it away here for the Mammoth. Not too far away. I live in the Pacific Northwest, Odie. I live in Oregon. Kolasar cuts inside, save Vanacek, and it comes back out wide. We're under 6 to play. Hannafin jumps on it in the Vegas end. Credit Schmidt, by the way, in between the pipes for Vegas for a dominating second half of this game. Utah was off to a good start back in the opening period. Vegas has taken over in the second half of this game, putting a 9 spot in a Game 7. Gunther, a shot saved by Schmidt. Cole sends it in. Schmidt kicks it aside. Holtz walks it in. Holtz now down below the goal line. Out in front, good stick by Cole. Stenlund, a shot. Save, rebound, score! Utah puts it in. It's Kerfoot. So after the Utah goal, a little bit of history tonight as well in terms of Game 7s in NHL history. The most goals ever scored by a team in a Game 7 is 6. A mark hit a handful of times in NHL history. Most recently, the Rangers dropped 6 goals on the Carolina Hurricanes back in 2022. And no team has ever cracked 7 in a winner-take-all game until now. Vegas has scored 9 goals here tonight. Icing here on Utah. With 4:02 left in the third. Cole bobbles his way into the zone. Stenlund, a shot knocked down by Schmidt. Holtz out in front, Megna. And Vanacek finds it. And to add on to that record that we have seen today for the Vegas Golden Knights, combined in a Game 7, the most scored before tonight in a Game 7 is 12 combined goals back in 1992. And we have 13. So that goal that was just scored by Utah was actually the record setter for most goals in a single game in Game 7 history in the NHL. Vanacek, another save, 2:59 to go in the third. So in a blowout, you got to find something to talk about. A couple records set in this game, a high-scoring affair from Vegas. But the Golden Knights are going to move on to the second round and send the Mammoth home here tonight. Vanacek, another save. Hurdle takes it away down low. Dorofeyev cuts inside. Vanacek keeps it out. That game back in 1992 was the Detroit Red Wings and the Minnesota North Stars in the Smythe semifinal. Keller now in down low below the goal line. Pindle on the boards as he kicks it away. Schmaltz gets there here for Utah. Here's Schmidt. Outside Marino. Tipped wide of the net. Under 2 minutes to play. Schmidt squares it up off a body. Marner gains control here for Vegas. Marner pinned into the corner. We're under a minute and a half to go in the game. White Cloud sends it in. A bobble and a takeaway. The game in real life overtime continues. Just over 14 minutes left in a tie game at 4. From Utah. Dorofiev a shot. Vanacek the save, and it goes just wide. Marner cuts inside. Vanacek knocks it away now as we're under a minute to go in Game 7. Big hit delivered. Marino picks it out. Here's Peterka. Off a body in front. Goes in down below the goal line. Final countdown on here in Vegas. The Golden Knights are 35 seconds away from moving on to the second round. Eichel walks it in. Sends it right through the crease, and it goes out wide. Peterka's on it. Marino takes a hit from Eichel. Back out to center ice it comes. Maybe one final push on the season here for the Mammoth. Here's Jack Eichel. Errant pass to the outside. Jumped on by Marino. We're under 10 seconds left. Jack Eichel walks it across, and that will do it. The Vegas Golden Knights dominate Game 7 and are moving on to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the Utah Mammoth are going home. A dominating performance tonight by Vegas. They turned it on in the second half of this game and did not look back. The most goals ever scored by a single team in Game 7 history, and the most combined goals in a game in Game 7 history. So some records were set, some hearts were broken, and Vegas starting the party early tonight from Sin City. They dominate Game 7 here over Utah and will await their opponent in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We've still got a few Game 7s to get through across round 1 in the NHL. But until then, we say good night from Sin City. 9-4 the final score. The Golden Knights are moving on.